In the second topic today, I want to talk about storytelling in the digital age. I grew up in a world of media moguls, a world where organisations like ours needed to court the good favours of major news networks to get our messages out to the public. A carefully researched media release was sent to a journalist who would often take the key points and turn the story into something completely different. Or sometimes we would have to pay big dollars to buy advertising. Now, sometimes we may still need to do some of these things, but that world of madmen and news empires is fast becoming a Jurassic Park of slow-moving and unresponsive giants. In the digital age, the broadcasting of information is now in the hands of the many rather than the few. And we now are all in the media business. And by that, I don't just mean the central and regional engagement specialists. DEWNR has its own media channels with a range of websites and social media accounts. While these channels are managed and coordinated by staff with specific roles, the content comes from across our organisation, from the staff who may be rangers, scientists, project managers, people from the full range of our activities. I've even got a Twitter account that I write myself. And media organisations have important stories to tell. Organisations like DEWNR need to spend less and be highly targeted and effective in the way we engage and communicate with our audiences. And organisations like ours also face the challenge that with everyone running their own publishing and media channels, it's become more important than ever to be focused on our purpose and the audiences that we wish to reach. Otherwise, our messages will be lost in the noise. Telling your story in the digital age has a number of key elements. We need to be clear about our objective. What do we want the audience to think, feel, or do as a result of receiving the message? Not only does this make the message more relevant to the audience, but it's likely the only way we can measure whether we have actually achieved our purpose. We need to be very clear about our audience. It's just not helpful to think that the audience is simply the general public. It's almost impossible to craft a message that will appeal or even be understood by everyone, from a teenager to a retiree, from a fifth-generation farmer to a recent arrival living in a city. So we need to make an effort to know where our audience are and meet them where they are. We need to give them information through the channels that they're already using. We need to find them where they are gathering, rather than always expecting them to come to us. We also need to find the balance between what we want them to know and what they are actually interested in. So getting the best results is all about good planning. It is very tempting to jump into the tactics. It's what we might call the "we need a Facebook page" reflex. And in today's world, it's hard to imagine any communications or engagement that does not have a screen-based component. However, knowing your audience means that sometimes the best tactic might be engaging in person or in another, more traditional media. Another thing we have learned in the relatively short history of digital storytelling is that we need to be agile and flexible. The digital world is fast-moving and adaptable, and we need to be that too. The key is to be able to adapt your content to move from MySpace one day to Facebook the next, from Flickr to Instagram or whatever might be around the next corner. A strong story narrative tells a story that draws you in. It can reach out to us on an emotional level. It should also entertain, educate, enlighten, and explain. If you can help your audience and give them something valuable, then you have met them halfway and have the opportunity not just to tell them something, but to bring them along with you. So how can we challenge ourselves to tell stories better? In your teams, I'd like you to discuss these things. The first question, who are our specific audiences? What do we want them to think, feel, or do? What channels do they use? And what channels do we have already or that we can get access to? And then I think this is very important. What problem can we solve for them? If we consistently ask and answer these simple questions, I am confident that we can deliver even better services to South Australians. So I hope you have a productive discussion about those questions, and I thank you for listening.